What's up guys, it's Zach back with another video, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Okay, so the other day I was going through Instagram and I was looking for a specific song that I wrote a while ago, and I came across this little number, which is my first setup that I suppose you could say is a setup. Because I don't feel like the one that I had as a kid growing up really counted. It definitely wasn't ready for audio engineering, but it was loud, that's for sure. Obviously you can see I have the Tannoys, I have the same audio interface and the same mic preamp, but there's a lot of other stuff that's changed since then, and not even just the physical things, because I'm not one to advocate that stuff equals happiness or stuff equals you've made it in any way, but it got me thinking just down the vein of improvement and how much I've improved over the years, and so through that, how much you can improve if you give it time and if you invest in yourself and invest in this talent and this journey, because that's what it is. It's not a single event that just like bam, you just wake up today, you just wake up and then just choose, all right, I'm gonna make it. Like, it's a bunch of small choices like that to say, all right, I'm gonna forego this so I can do this, or I'm gonna not hang out with this person on this day so I can, spend time with this, or whatever. Not that you should totally, go the opposite direction, cut everyone out of your life, have no friends, and just be focusing on yourself, because that can be bad too. You obviously have to have a balance. But I guess what I'm trying to say is just enjoy the process. There's so many videos, and it feels like a cliche at this point to say it, but I've even pulled up some tracks that I had worked on in the last year or so, maybe even less time than that. And the amount that I've learned and just the way that your ear develops as an engineer or as a musician, it changes over time, and it hopefully improves over time. And you are more critical of your music, and you listen to it differently, and you listen to other music differently, and you grow from that. And you want to just absorb as much as you can and learn as much as you can. And so even though, we like to have things or certain instruments or tools make it easier, you don't have to have those. I started with next to nothing doing this stuff, and you can build, you can eventually make money for you. And that's still my goal, is to be able to use this talent that I have to be a full income and to be able to provide for my family with it. So I was kind of thinking of going through some of the differences that my studio is now versus then, why I made those decisions, and kind of what the application is for that instrument or tool or whatever. So first up, we have my PRS guitar, which I think that I've already talked about before, and this is an awesome all-around instrument. It is a not super recent addition to my studio, but it is definitely one of my favorite instruments to play. You probably see me play it more than any other instrument. And it's such a dream to play. I absolutely love this guitar. It can cover a very wide variety of sounds, and it's just awesome. Okay. Now, what's the best way to do this? We're just gonna go for it. Stupid. This is a much more recent addition to the studio, and I absolutely love this. I got it for a birthday present, and it has been so fun to have. It has a bunch of knobs and faders, and obviously it's a full-scale piano, which is great. They're semi-weighted keys from Arturia, have some mod wheels and things like that, and pads. And then also a little DAW command center, so I can control Reaper from here instead of having to mess around with extra keys. It's just awesome. Definitely a video to come on this, because I absolutely love this piano. It's amazing. So another thing I do is mobile recording, and it's not a huge thing, but I obviously want to make sure I have the proper equipment and the proper way to transport that equipment. And with this Low Pro backpack, I've been able to do that. I've actually been meaning to do a review of this thing, and oh, it's my Roomba. I've been meaning to do a review of this thing, but I just haven't yet. So I guess that'll be coming soon. And so inside the backpack, obviously, is the Audient Evo 4. I did a review on this. You can see that here. Microphones, cables, nothing too crazy or exciting. business cards. It felt very good to have to need those and having people ask about, what's your contact information? How do I get a hold of you? Here's a business card. It's just those small things that make you feel like you're going in the right direction and like this is something that you're meant to do. Some other things that I have around the studio are like monitor stands. That was something that I needed, one, to get to a proper monitoring angle, and then also to decouple my monitors from my desk. You don't want those to be just sitting flat on there. You want to be conscious of where those are pointed. And then so within that same vein, I have some sound treatment over here, as well as back here, as you can see. But once you have sound treatment, it is huge, and it's part of why, going back through my music, I'm able to be a little more critical of what I'm listening to, because I can hear it better, I can hear it more accurately, and my mixes are so much faster. For example, I was working on a mix for a mix competition earlier today, and I got pretty close to where I wanted it to be within the first shot, whereas previously it took 3 to 5 shots at getting it about where I want it to, and this was, listening to the stereo system, and then going and doing the car test, and then coming back and making changes, and then doing it all over again, and it took forever. And then we also, of course, have the patch bay. I did a video about that, so you can check that out right here. Then I also have a compressor. It's a Behringer. It's nothing crazy or nothing fancy, but you've heard that a lot in anything that I play guitar in, because I always run my microphones from here, and I run them through the patch bay actually, and then I run it through the compressor and then into my audio interface. And so I don't know if I'm just feeling nostalgic or thinking about, the years past because it's a brand new year, and thinking about things going forward and my goals for myself, my family, my career, things like that. But I just felt like making this video and showing, the progress that you can make. I feel like physical things are an easy way to kind of landmark change, but that shouldn't necessarily be your North Star. And I don't think that people should conflate happiness with stuff, because that's not, you're always going to be chasing the next thing. There's always going to be improvements. But just thinking about, the progress that you make. I like making these videos, again, kind of for myself, and in those posts to be able to go back, reflect. I have a SoundCloud with all my old music that I did, and it's terrible, but it helps you see where you've come on the days where you're thinking like, man, this sucks, I'm bad at this. Is this what I want to do? I'm not making any money, I'm talking to no one. Keep trying, because if you just never do, then of course you're not going to make it. Like, just go for it. Just try. So with all that being said, I don't want this to get too much longer, but just go for it. Track your progress. Remember where you started, and stay humble, stay happy, and just get after it. And I hope you guys are doing well. Bye.